Hello, my name is Angie Carter. The purpose of this video is to quickly walk you through some of my recent projects. Now, on to the first project.
My first example was a very exciting project for me overall. It's a first of its kind concept and a brand new role for the company. I was tasked with creating the entire training curriculum for this role. The building was still going to be under construction when the employees started their training though, and I wanted the employees to be able to visualize where they would work and service their customers. Therefore, I created this interactive virtual tour of the facility using architectural drawings. The architect provided quite a few drawings, and we had a few images from the front and the back of the building. You can see here I used articulate storyline markers with a hover to identify each place where the employee could stand in front and back of the building in different locations through the building to look around. As you hover, you can see a brief description about where this marker is. And then when you click a marker, you're taken into the building as if you were standing there yourself. We can actually click to move around and face different locations in the building. So I can turn around through this room to look at the different views and walk around as if we were there. We can even walk into the multi-purpose room here. And then eventually we can walk outside if we want to walk around to the back of the building to try to immerse the learner here so they could see where they were going to be working. I refer to this frequently in the facilitator guide for the instructor-led training piece, and I asked the instructor to display this on the projector throughout training during role plays and activities so the learner can visualize themselves standing in this lobby and talking to a customer. For the same project, I also used Articulate Storyline to create a simulation-based quiz. First, the employee selects an avatar. The avatar walks them through instructions. Then they draw 20 random scenarios from a quiz pool of 50 potential scenarios. I started from a template that I downloaded from eLearning Heroes. However, I ended up customizing this quite a bit. When the feedback occurs, not only do we have verbal feedback about the correct answer, we have visual feedback, the customer's happy for a correct response. And then I added the quiz progress as well as the quiz points. We have a new customer each time. And if we select the incorrect answer, we did not gain an additional point, and we have an unhappy customer. I created this superhero themed and gamified lesson for a different client using Adobe Captivate. First, you select your superhero avatar, and we have the superhero call the person by name throughout the course. So they type in what they want to be called. Now, the client had already communicated information about detecting phishing emails several times and over several years. Therefore, I just added this one slide as a reminder before moving into the game. Here's our instructions for the game. In the game, you see emails and you need to detect if it's a valid email or a phishing email. We've got a little bit of information about the person so we can verify what our name is and our real email address is, and if we have a PayBuddy account in this case. And we can detect if we believe this is valid or phishing. If we guess wrong, then we see clues when we guess wrong about why I should have known that this was a phishing email. When we make a correct selection, we earn stars. I set up the variables so that if you earn 5 out of 7 stars, you pass the lesson and you see this screen. And I wanted to give an extra reward. Therefore, if you earn more than 5 stars, you get a little extra. We end by summarizing what to do if we think that we've received a phishing email, and then we can launch out to the evaluation and eventually close the lesson down. In this final example, I use a technique that I've applied to several lessons. I use a combination of Adobe Captivate and Vyond, formerly GoAnimate. The animated videos are full screen, and the Captivate slides use screenshots taken from Vyond. This gives the impression that I've never left the video from slide to slide. The previous video was the animation from GoAnimate or from Vyond. This is a screenshot that I took using the same characters and the same background with rollovers now. So the learner should feel like they're actually interacting with the video, pressing buttons within the video and rolling over. In this particular lesson, the employees already knew and complied with all of this information. The purpose of the lesson was to comply with the training requirement for an upcoming audit. The client just had to say, everyone has had formal training on this topic. So since the employees already knew this information, they were already complying with this information, I wanted to make it as fun as possible. I also added learner controls here so the learner could go to just the pages that they wanted to visit, just the information that applied to them. The space shuttle goes over the planets or the topics that the person chooses. And the lesson is brief, it's nice and light, but it still helped the client comply with their audit requirements for formal training. This concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it.